I can't believe it. It's my first blind date.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Really? Woo! You guys meet? Greg, Janice?
We sure did.
That was stupid.
Great.
This is Smart, a beeper service for just $1.99 a month. From who else? Smart Beep. Call 1-800-BEEP-199 for other smart stuff, like directions.
We've got chemistry here. You feel it?
I felt it.
All right, Janice.
iHeartRadio just got even better with services and features no one else has. Real live radio and your music in one app. Plus, you can now get unlimited skips. Play any song. Instantly replay or add songs directly to your playlist that you hear on the radio. Even take your music offline and listen data-free. There's nothing else like it. Open the app or download it now. The new and improved iHeartRadio. Get it today.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
What have you done? Where are we?
Greetings from the Humongous, the Lord Humongous, the warrior of the wasteland, the Ayatollah of rock and roller!
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
I'm gravely disappointed.
Thomas, keep the gun on him. He's definitely a criminal.
From the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and yesterday, it's the real Retro Radio Live. Take your stinking paws off me, you dirty ape!
Be prepared. We're in modulation mode. Get ready for takeoff.
All right, Retro Radio Live. The Jackhammer is on location. She's going to be calling in with what's going on. First things first, I'm not dead. It was announced this morning that I was being taken off of life support. What was it? So we're at Rockin' Robin's broadcasting live. She don't want to talk. But for some weird reason, the internet's claiming that I had passed away. And I'm sure some of you are like, yay! And some of you are like, oh. But no, it's a false rumor. Sorry to let you all down. But on tonight's show, and I gotta tell you that this woman is funny. Okay, Theresa Cannistraci, Farrell is on the show tonight. She's a stand-up comic, super guidat, really good friend of mine, actor, talk show host, singer, dancer. She's done it all, you know. And I think she performs nightly at the drive-in at White Castle. You can hear her over the speakerphone. Love her to death. She's on the show. Tonight we are brought to you by... Who are we always brought to you by? Well, first of all, I know for a fact My Envy Salon. My Envy Salon, which is located at 1338 Cape Coral Parkway East in Cape Coral, Florida. Jody and all those girls down there are killing it with makeovers, hair, nails, makeup. And they got this new Japanese facial massage machine. I got to get her on one of these days to actually tell her explain to me what it's all about. But it sounds like it's something really cool to do. Make an appointment. Call My Envy Salon. Ask for Jody at 239-542-6303. And you know I'm drinking it. I'm swimming in it. I'm backstroking in it. I brush my teeth to it. The Grump, my Cafe Grumpy, I love them. My Heartbreak Espresso is my go-to for keeping me in this show. Listen, I could maybe blame them for keeping me alive and off of life support, you know? Carolyn Bell has just reopened at Grand Central Terminal. If you can't get out of the house, get it delivered. Go to cafegrumpy.com. Give it a shot. Everybody I know stands by it. Christy Swanson, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sandy Johnson from Halloween, Paul Vario from Paul Vario. Loves Cafe Grumpy. I love it. If you don't love it, well, because you haven't tried it. And I'm going to be headed to New York in a week or so, and I'm not telling you why, but you'll know when I get there. But my friends at Asylum Tattoo are in Coral, New York. And if you never had a tattoo, or you have a few and you want to get some more done, or you want to go for your first piece, give Mindy a call. They're great. They're in Coral, New York. You can go to asylumtattoony.com. They do piercings. They do portraits. They do some of the finest Japanese work I've seen. You know, besides John Giamona, my boy up in Oregon. And I've got to go get some stuff done. Our newest sponsors, the Punk Rock Museum. Lou Kohler, who I consider a brother. You know, he's facing a severe battle with cancer. His brother Pete Kohler, the lead guitarist from Sick of It All, is doing the tour at the Punk Rock Museum. I'm probably going to stop in. I'm definitely going to show. I want to talk to those guys about so many things. I sent the owner an interview request, but they're at 1422 Western Avenue in Las Vegas. Tattoos, music, marriage, living the punk dream in Vegas. Get tattooed. Tour iconic punk artifacts. Tie the knot in one unforgettable stop at the Punk Rock Museum. From their on-site tattoo shop to their Las Vegas wedding chapel, this is the ultimate way to live the punk rock dream in Las Vegas. And when I come back, we got the Jackhammer, and I'll be right back.
All your time going around on trips.
Whatever happened? You were going to Asbury Park.
Yeah, I went there looking for raspberries.
There's no...
Have you got any raspberries? He says, no. We got strawberries.
Well, what is an Asbury anyway? There's a park full of them. We should find out what it is.
I don't know. And spelled backwards, it's crap rubs you. You know that.
I know that. I know.
All right, we are back. I'm Eric Danger Nine Heist.
And I'm still the jackhammer.
Yeah, live on location. What a good show you're missing, but I'm glad you're able to chime in. So tell us, what's going on?
Okay, we're starting out at Whiskey a Go-Go on Sunset Boulevard. We have something tonight called Exhorter, something like that.
What is it?
Exhorter.
Okay.
It's I've heard of them, but I only listened to them to do some research. They're a heavy metal band out of New Orleans.
Oh, I thought we were going to be doing like a tour of hoarders' houses or something.
Right? And tomorrow we have Mini Kiss at Whiskey a Go-Go.
Mini what? Kiss?
Mini Kiss, which is a Kiss tribute band. They do full makeup and the whole nine.
Can I tell you, and I don't mean to make fun of people, right? But I saw a Kiss tribute band being posted, and there's a few of them out there, right? But if and again, I'm not a shamer. I find humor in everything. These guys look like they were stuffed into the Kiss costumes, right? I'm like, if you're going to be on stage, go to the gym. Like, if you're right. So I'm making a friendly suggestion. I'm not going to say who they are, okay? But they should definitely change their name to Ozempic Kiss.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Then they'd all look like bobbleheads.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, don't go that extreme. I'm just breaking chops over here. But yeah, if you're, listen, like, and everybody's like, why don't you put on the cameras? I go, number one, we're a radio show. We're not a podcast. And two, and I'm not a prima donna. But you know what? I like what I like, and I like why I like it because I like it. Like, I want my hair done. I want to bleach my teeth. I want, 6K cinematography. I want to bring in my guys. I want sound design. Like, when people have to understand, like, people like Joe Rogan, they have a team of people. When I'm in the studio, I have a team of people. I have been touring with the show, headed to a permanent location more sooner than later. But like, we don't have those luxuries. All these posters you see, I make them from scratch on Photoshop. I design all the music.
You do your own makeup.
And yeah. And I definitely don't need to be on Ozempic. So no. What else we got going on?
At Whiskey a Go-Go, we have the Queers. I don't know much about them. On Friday the 13th, doors open at 6. At first, I thought they were like a Queen tribute, but I couldn't find much on them.
I think they're kind of like a punk band.
I found that punk-ish stuff, but they're called the Queers.
Yeah, I think they kind of remind me of like Devo. If you look back.
Okay, well, that would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Whiskey. I mean, if you've never been, it's a historic place to go. I mean, everybody there from Motley Crue to Jim Morrison and the Doors, and the place is just epically epic. There's so much that goes on Sunset. If you didn't know, starting from the beginning, you've got the Rainbow, you've got the Roxy, you've got the Whiskey, you've got the Comedy Store, all within like a 2-block area of each other.
Right.
And again, if there's something at the Whiskey you don't like, walk out the door, make a left or a right, and you will find something you definitely enjoy down there. What else we got?
Yeah, I would go see the Queers just to see them.
Yeah.
Especially since you said they're like punkish. I liked Devo.
Yeah.
I stepped on a crack and I didn't break my mama's back.
Did you whip it good?
I did whip it good. I've been whipping it for far too long.
I'm telling you, you better whip it back.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
The House of Blues again on Sunset has Shawnee Mack.
You sure the House of Blues is still in Vegas? Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Okay, go ahead. House of Blues.
Yeah. Shawnee Mack.
Okay.
And that's tomorrow night.
Nice.
Doors open at 7.
And that's a Tuesday night. Wow.
Yeah. Phil Stenbeck.
Okay.
Thursday. And also on Thursday, Mark Mack.
Oh.
Don't know who he is.
Does it look like it sounds like it's hip hop?
I looked at the picture. I tried to find as much info on them as possible.
Right.
I'm not sure how hip hop-ish it is because of his appearance. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, you can always go to whiskeytogogo.com and get more information on what's going on there.
This is House of Blues. So I went and I looked him up.
House of Blues. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I tried to do a deeper dive, but they didn't have much on him.
Okay.
So
so much for marketing, right?
Yeah, right.
You know.
Anyway, and Friday at House of Blues, we had at 6. We have Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
I love Joan Jett. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Big shout out to Joan and Lita Ford and Sherry Curry. Like, man, I honestly feel that we grew up with Joan Jett. Like,
we did.
Yeah.
Crimson and Clover.
Yup. I mean,
over and over.
You know, and her bad reputation. You know,
exactly.
But God bless Joan Jett, and I had said this to Rock and Robin yesterday that we were at the antique mall. Okay, we were at the antique mall yesterday, and they've got records, and they had a Joan Jett and the Blackhearts I Love Rock and Roll album, and I pulled it and I showed her on the back. She has been on her own label since day one. Boy,
right.
you want to see, and this goes back to tell me, to tell you, to tell everybody that the higher ups in the industry or the entertainment industry, they don't know what they're doing half the time, if not 3/4, if not 9/10 of the time. Like, of course, they're never going to admit or want to kick back and say, oh, we made a mistake. We dropped the ball. Right. You know, because if you look at Get Him to the Greek, like the one guy was like, who signed up Chocolate Daddy? Who signed? And the guy said, nah, I signed Chocolate Daddy. How many units did Chocolate Daddy sell? 12,000. 12,000 units, right? I swear on all above, I thought Chocolate Daddy was, you don't know. Like, but everybody takes a risk, you know. No
risk, no reward.
Right, and big risk, big reward. So to the industry that turned down Joan Jett, you guys are dumb. What a great talent. And she's still going. She's still going.
Yeah, she's been going since the Runaways.
Right. And again, big shout out to Sherry Curry. And all the Runaways. Like, if they did a reunion tour, you know, I mean, we're not.
That'd be anarchy.
Right. I mean, Joan Jett, Lita Ford still looks like a spring chicken. You know, Sherry Curry. Sherry Curry's performing with her son, who plays a mean acoustic. You know, but I'm a big, old school retro, and God bless Joan Jett. If you can go see her, go see her. And where's she at? She's at the House of Blues.
House of Blues, House of Blues, Friday the 13th. My lucky day.
Yeah, yep. And that's right down the street from where I'm at right now. Like, I would love to go Friday night and see her. Right. Unfortunately, I have other obligations and other things I have to do. But if you can go see Joan Jett. Call in the show because we're actually taking phone calls starting today.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, and if you go, call in, talk to the engineer, talk to the producer, and tell them I said push you right through because I want to hear how the concert was. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah. So what else we got going on?
We're switching over to Vegas. We have tons of residencies, and we also have the Eagles at the Sphere.
I'm surprised they're not at the Hotel California.
Nope, that's very funny. That went right over my head. I don't have my grumpy with me.
Oh, you're not grumped up.
No, I'm on assignment somewhere else. But we have the Eagles and Backstreet Boys.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. That's somebody's thing. It's got to be.
It ain't got to be me.
No.
And I don't even know if that is backseat street seat meat boys.
See, that's all I know about them. I don't know.
Well, I know it's Donnie Wahlberg and whoever.
Yeah.
You know?
Caesar's Palace. We have Garth Brooks, Rod Stewart, Jerry Seinfeld.
Wow, Vegas is getting packed with talent.
Right.
You know,
Resorts World has Janet Jackson and Carrie Underwood through March.
Wait, together or separate?
It just said, the poster says Janet Jackson and Carrie Underwood, Carrie Underwood. So I don't know if they're together or one's opening for the other or separate shows, but they're both at Resorts World.
And if I could just correct you for a second, and you know I'm not big on correcting you, but it's Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Oh, right. My bad. My bad. Well, I haven't had enough grumpy. I'm not feeling too nasty.
Well, you know what? We got to get you some grump somehow. We'll send a carrier pigeon if we have to. Anything else?
And Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga at MGM.
Wow. We were actually just talking, because I have seen all about previews of A Star is Born. And I know that our friend Andrew Dice Clay plays the father, and I know she's in it, and I know Bradley Cooper's in it. I'm going to try to sit down and watch it. I haven't been able to do much lately besides the show. Yeah. But it's something I'd like to sit down and see, you know?
Yeah, I've seen it, and it was really, really good. It was a tearjerker, but it was good.
Yeah, and I was telling Oksana Lada, because she was like, "Oh, I'm going to the movies tonight to see Song Blue." And I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but I got through like 20 minutes of it, and I went, "Oh my god, it's so sad." I can't do sad. I mean, I like Neil Diamond, you know. And
I can, but it's hard to get out of the sad.
Yeah, I am in such a place where I can't do that emotional thing and sit there by myself and cry and eat a bunch of Rice Krispie squares. You know what I mean? Yeah, no.
I ate the last brownie, by the way.
Oh. That's what they told me when I joined the Boy Scouts. But, you know.
I kicked out of the Boy Scouts for eating too many brownies.
That's right. So, yeah, what am I going to do? Watch Song Blue and cry into Milton? You know? I can't. Right. I can't. Right. So, yeah, no, that's awesome. We got anything going on in New York? I mean, we got tons of Broadway we just reviewed.
We have a ton of Broadway shows in New York to see, and I just want to say that Broadway's the way to go. They have something for everyone.
Absolutely.
You know, take your mom, your dad, your neighbor, take somebody, or go by yourself. It's an experience.
You have to, at least, and if you never have, it's so worth going to, you know. And if you go back and listen to the Stephen D'Angelo's show, he told you on ways that you can actually go for free.
Exactly. And like I had said, that my mother-in-law in Fort Myers, Florida, does the ushering, and she sees concerts, shows. Like, it's the way to go if you're trying to get in free or cheap.
Right.
You know, volunteer your time. But we have a ton of Broadway plays going, the old, the new, Chicago, Michael Jackson, you know.
Yeah, just so much going on. Hey,
Moulin Rouge, everything.
So are you coming back on Wednesday?
I am.
Okay, we got Don Scribner. And there's so many good things I could say about Don Scribner. And I'm not going to spill all the beans now, but he's a veteran actor. I'm going to call him more of an independent that has survived for so long in L.A., and he's been in a lot of feature films. We're going to pick his brain on Wednesday. And when we come back, we're going to take one of our first phone calls that we haven't done. We haven't done phone calls on Retro Radio in 15 years. And
I'm glad we're bringing it back.
And you know what? Well, let's see who's on the other end of the phone first before we make a final call on that.
Good, bad, or raunchy. You know, it could be a Miss Jackson if they're nasty. You know.
Yep. I'm Eric Danger 9 Heist.
I'm the Jackhammer.
And when we come back, we're going to take some calls.
Awesome. Peace out, roughed out.
Peace out, get roughed out.
you in my fantasy. 'Cause I'd do anything for you, don't you see? The way I feel is oh so true. I can't deny what I'm telling you. Baby girl, in my fantasy, you will be more than happy, you will be with me. Oh, oh, fantasy girl, you're my fantasy girl. I need you tonight. Oh, oh, my fantasy girl, you're my fantasy girl. I need you tonight. I want you, girl, tonight.
Easy to discover the best podcast for whatever you're into, and I mean whatever. From true crime to history, comedy to food, and dozens of other topics. In fact, there's over 25,000 podcasts. But don't get overwhelmed, it's cool. iHeartRadio makes it easy to browse and find the ones perfect for you. And listening is always free. Even if you want to download them to your phone so you can listen offline, like on a plane. If you're going to take the podcast plunge, let iHeartRadio be your podcast player.
All right, I'm Eric Danger, 9 Heist. We are live from Rockin' Robins tonight. We've got so much going on. We got my Aunt Theresa coming on. First time in 15 or 20 years, we're taking a call. Who we got on the phone?
Dude! Metalhead Mike here, dude.
All right, well, who?
Metalhead Mike.
Metalhead Mike, what's up, dude?
Hey, man. Look, I heard your podcast for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
You were interviewing Danny Pro.
Danny, can I tell you, one of the best interviews. One of the best. Did it take you back like car seats?
Dude, living the dream, man.
Dude.
Look, I heard you saying on there you were from Bloomfield.
I am. I grew up in Montclair, but I hung out in Bloomfield in North Newark. Why? Where are you from?
Dude, I grew up in Bloomfield too.
Bloomfield, Minnesota?
No.
Oh, Bloomfield.
What the hell are you talking about?
Bloomfield, Missouri?
New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. Oh, we got a Jersey guy on the phone. See, now my heart just warmed up. And I know right now you guys need all the warmth you can get.
It's freezing.
You're freezing it off over there?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
trying
sorry.
to keep it clean here. I know we got little kids listening, right?
Oh, yeah. No. We got to be on our best behavior. What year did you graduate?
87.
I'm 85, 86, depending if, you count me being held back. I should have been in like the 19th grade when I graduated. So you're close to my graduating class. So what can I do for you, Mike?
Dude, I'm just wanted to call in. I heard you were from Bloomfield. Reconnect there with you. I didn't remember what year you said you graduated.
Well, I was supposed to graduate in 85. I stayed back in the 4th grade, so I graduated in 86. And I'll tell you, from 80, and go Bengals, by the way, I should have been in, I spent more time in Bloomfield. I should have been in your yearbook. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we were talking about Bloomfield. We talked about Bloomfield, Montclair, Essex County, New Jersey. And, you heard Tony Pro, who's from Bergen County, but he spent a lot of time in Essex County. You know what I mean? Bloomfield, we had 3 different arcades. Willie's Diner, Nevada Diner. We had...
Oh, Willie's.
Willie's Diner.
Lots of late-night burgers there.
Dude, pizza burgers at 4 o'clock in the morning. going to the Royal Theater. What did I see at the Royal Theater? I saw National Lampoon's Family Vacation for the first time there. I saw Scarface there, and I saw The Right Stuff there. Mr. Conti used to run the theater, right? And me and Jimmy Simeone painted all the backs of those chairs back in the 80s. And come to find out that the candy concession lady was my girlfriend's grandmother. So yeah,
I remember going there and seeing Friday the 13th. I don't know which edition it was. I think I was 86 maybe.
That could have been either the first or the second. You know, you never know.
And like half the school showed up. So like the whole lobby was full. It came out on Friday the 13th.
So let me ask you this, because you said Metal Mike, right?
Yep, Metalhead Mike. Okay,
Metalhead Mike. So here's a question for you. Bloomfield High School, right? I'm standing across the street looking at the front of it, right? The left-hand side of the corner was always called Burnout Corner.
Smoker's Corner.
Oh, okay, it turned out to be... Okay, so...
Smoker's Corner, Burnout Corner, yeah.
Okay, so that stayed true for how long?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Long after I left there.
Okay, because I remember it started in the 80s, you know, because Pat Kiernan and Kenny Zach and Michael Sheridan and like Pete Gallagher carried it on and all those guys later on. And
he always had one guy standing lookout on the corner making sure the teachers weren't coming.
You know what they did one time? Because you know across the street, like if you're standing looking towards Broad Street and you got whatever that side street is that goes to where the tennis courts are, there's an apartment building across the street.
Yep.
And I remember back in 85 or 86, somebody left a green army jacket filled with drugs in the pockets on the corner there, right? And I remember Michael Sheridan, Pat Kiernan, John Schmidt, a couple of those guys went through the pockets, found the drugs, and were like, ooh, score. But they didn't realize that the cops were in the window across the street with cameras, and they planted the coat there to see who would take the drugs.
No, I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And I remember one of the other big events in Bloomfield history was Broughton Avenue versus the Berkeley Boys in a big rumble in Foley Field.
Yeah, I stayed clear of that.
Nah, not me.
I was one of the diehard burnouts, and growing up there, you had the two major factions. You had the burnouts and you had the Guidos.
Right. And if you go ahead, I'm sorry.
And it wasn't too much overlap. I mean, you generally got along, but we kind of kept to our own groups.
Yeah, my burnout friends were Jimmy Rogers, Enrique Musladino, Brian Lazorchuk, Terrence Malarney, Joe Mitchell, Andy Barisi, and every once in a while Michelle, Terrence's sister, would hang out with us. But I'll tell you that, and I'm going to ask your advice on this in a question, because I got to take another call. But I wanted to ask you, growing up, a lot of us had to introduce each other to the music because we knew like Z100 and K-Rock played classics and Z100 played pop. We didn't really have a place for our music. Like the only place to hear Metallica was SOU.
Just SOU, yeah.
Right, SOU was it. And if you couldn't throw a rock and hit Seton Hall, you weren't getting the station. You know what I mean? Because 89.5, and then they had the jazz channel like right in between. Like, so you were either getting like Slayer or you were getting Dizzy Gillespie, like depending on what side of the street you were on. So
yeah, especially when it went into a guitar riff and it faded out into the jazz station.
Right, and then it went into like the Longhorn. So here's my question for you, before we go. Iron Maiden was a powerful metal band in the 80s, and one of their momentous albums was Number of the Beast. Okay, Judas Priest, and I'm going to be objective here. Judas Priest had just come off of Screaming for Vengeance, which was a good album, But Defenders of the Faith came out, Free Will Burning, Rock Hard, Rot Free, Love Bites, going against Hallowed Be Thy Name and running, and not Running Free, but Hallowed Be Thy Name and Run to the Hills and all these other things. What, for your opinion, and because you're a couple years younger than I am, but you're metalhead Mike, so I'm going to take your advice. You had to take one of those albums on a desert island. Which one are you taking?
That's a tough one. I saw them both back in the day there.
Yeah, so did I.
And for Raw Power, Judas Priest.
My man.
For that's not to discount Maiden though, because I've seen them a bunch of times too, and that's a little more musicianship on there.
Right.
I would say with Maiden.
Yeah. But
just for kicking on a jam and ripping it, Judas Priest.
Okay. And I must have missed it somehow, or I must have been in a cave or under a rock at that time. But I keep hearing like Judas Priest and Maiden toured back then.
Yeah, in their early years they did.
Yeah, and then I saw Maiden with Anthrax, and then I saw Judas Priest with like Crocus one night, then Doc in the other. Do you know what's going on with Priest right now?
They're still touring.
Yeah, where are they touring at? Do you know?
I don't know where they're at right now. I know they got a big tour all summer.
Okay, well I know they just went to Europe. I don't know what Maiden's doing, but
they're in Europe right now. They're coming back to the States later this year and doing a big American tour, 50th anniversary.
Oh, Maiden is?
Yeah.
Well, I know Bruce Dickinson is doing a signing at Monsterpalooza, I think in Jersey. I think. Maybe you could come on the show on Wednesday, and maybe if you want to do a metal segment, why don't you come on Wednesday and bring us up to speed on what's going on in the metal world?
Hey, I'll do what I can. That sounds awesome.
Hey, that sounds burn of you. So you want to give any shout-outs?
Hey.
What, got any shout-outs for anybody?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You're asking me about Priest. I got one for you here.
Sure.
So Motley Crue's playing down there at the down in Homedale.
Oh.
PNC, in July, right?
PNC Art Center?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen a ton of good bands there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Now, Motley Crue.
Yep.
Should they have just stayed retired or what?
Yes. So, I think that they should have gone on the high note and, release Dirt and let it all go. I think that they have had so many different incarnations since Vince Neil killed Razzle from Hanoi Rocks and going to jail and coming back and sobering up and not getting sober and back. And then and I just said this, in the last segment with Jackie, that there are some Kiss bands out there, some Kiss cover bands that look like they're stuffed into their costumes. Like, if you're going to be on stage, and I called them Ozemp...
freaking sausage, huh?
Right, I called them Ozempic, right? If you... Listen, and I'm not going to pick on who it was, and I'm not going to put them on blast, but if you're going to be in a public situation, like if I'm going to be on stage again, I'm going to have my hair done. I'm going to brush my hair. I'm not going to have this giant gut and then forget all the words to my own show, And there's a flip side to this coin too. Yes, I've seen Motley Crue. I saw it when Tommy Lee came out with the cage that flipped upside down. And he jumped off the bungee cord. Like Shout at the Devil, Too Fast for Love, like that early stuff. Loved all of it.
Oh yeah, all their like up to Theater of Pain was the best.
Mine exactly. Like that, I couldn't get past Dr. Feelgood. You know what I mean?
But now with all this stuff going on with them, people claiming that they're lip syncing. I mean, they're like Justin Bieber up there.
Well, people aren't just claiming it, and and I don't know, and it doesn't affect me if they do or they don't. Because, and again, I've been to Vince Neil's bar at Circus. I helped with the karaoke thing a couple times. But do I think they should have retired? Yes. There's no reason. Now, with that being said, and just leaving it alone at yes, I'm not cool, and I don't know if you consider them metal, but they're glam or whatever. But Bret Michaels being very public about taking 600% of the profits if Poison reunites bothers me. I don't know if you've heard this. Poison was supposed okay. Poison was supposed to reunite, and
50th anniversary.
Right,
dragged in.
Right, which would have been great. And again, we'll circle back. Now that you said 50th, you got me for a minute. So I think because Bret Michaels has a fallback,
40,
and I'm sure
40 years.
Well, okay, so 40, but you got me stuck on the number 50 as well. At 40 years, like, yeah, Bret Michaels has a fallback band, and they probably play Poison hits. But look out for the guys but look out for the guys that, you know, that pushed you through. Like, you guys all came up together. Like, did you forget that? And yes.
Well, I got to hand it to Queen.
Oh.
You know, how Freddie,
absolutely.
He was the songwriter, and he gave overall writing credits to all of them. So they would all benefit from it.
Well, I don't know if you listen to Sirius XM or Hair Nation or Ozzy's Boneyard or anything, but 2 days ago, there was an announcement that Skid Row is looking for a new lead singer.
Yeah, heard that.
What? That's a big wait what moment. Like, I mean, yes, the Sebastian Bach ship has sailed, you know, and yeah, it would probably be cool for about 30 seconds if they all got back together and put their stuff aside, because you know Snake Zabo and all those guys are from Jersey, right?
Yep.
Right. And
they're all New Jersey.
Yep. So, in your opinion, do you think Sebastian Bach should try to extend the olive branch, or Snake Zabo or any of those guys to try to put him back in the driver's seat?
You know, everything I've seen is that he has tried, and they say just no.
Yeah.
If they wanted to do a tour, they would probably be bigger than they were in the early 90s when they came out.
Yeah, because neither one of them can book anything bigger than a bar.
Yeah, I mean, Bach is out touring now. He's got a couple solo albums out, and he's touring, and they're good.
Yeah, no, and he is Skid Row.
He can still sing, and he can still sing pretty damn good.
Yeah, for almost being over 60. Yeah, absolutely.
But whatever it is, they never said what it was. But those guys, they ain't gonna bury the hatchet. So
okay. On a final note, because you lit the fire, my friend. On a final note. Judas Priest 50th anniversary tour, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They got Scott Travis, Ian Hill, they got Richie Faulkner, and they got the guy that helped produce, I can't remember his name, and then of course, you know, the metal god himself, Rob Halford. And for the 50th anniversary, you know, when he's healthy, Glenn Tipton, who's been suffering with Parkinson's disease, comes out to do, because their encore now is Breaking the Law, Living After Midnight, and Hellbent for Leather. When I was growing up, it was the Motorcycle, Hellbent for Leather, encore. Mm-hmm. Right. Do you think, as a fan, that they should have treated KK Downing better and brought him in instead of the producer that produced, because the guy that produced Firepower for them is their guitarist now. You know,
I don't know what happened with KK. I mean, he's out doing his tour now.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was KK's Priest is great, and because I fell off when Ripper Owens joined Judas Priest. I just said no. Yeah. Like, it's all or nothing, because I'm Dave Holland, KK Downing, Glenn Tipton, Ian Hill, you know, Rob Halford. That's my Judas Priest. Some people it's Les Binks. So, you know, like, everybody's got their own thing. That's my thing. That's my personal opinion. But then hearing and seeing them at the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame together, oh man! But when the new guy and Richie Faulkner try to do the KK Downing Glenn Tipton sway, it doesn't work for me. If you're gonna do a 50th and you're coming off of being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you know, if Glenn Tipton can't come out, what's wrong? You know how I would go berserko if I saw KK Downing with Judas Priest. No disrespect to Richie Faulkner. Richie Faulkner's on some of the great albums. But to remove Dave Holland completely from the anniversary of Defenders of the Faith album, the 2-album set, which has got the live and then the regular remastered edition, all the pictures on the inside of the album, Dave Holland's been removed. KK's not in any part of the tour. I'm sorry, I love Judas Priest. They are my top of the top of the top of the top, but I'm crying foul.
Well, I think that goes to all that we grew up with there, right? You got I saw Quiet Riot a couple years ago.
Yeah. I'm really good friends with Rudy Sarzo.
And Rudy is the only one that's the original member. So it's like, I mean, they were all good and all. And I forgot the guy's name that sang. He was in Love Hate.
Right, but he ain't Kevin DeBrow.
No. I mean, when you get bands, down here at PNC Center down there in
Homedale.
Yeah, you got one coming up there this summer. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner. I don't think there's an original member in either band.
They're almost tribute bands at this point. You know,
yeah, they are.
Right,
they are.
Right.
I mean, I think there might be one original in Skinner.
Right. Maybe the guy that is like a guitar tech or something. It's okay. So if you ever see or hear on the radio, like, Journey's coming to Las Vegas, and they'll play Steve Perry Journey.
Yeah.
They don't play Arnell Journey. They play Steve Perry Journey. And then you get there. Good for Arnell. Nothing against Arnell Panera. Great. But he's not Steve Perry. And everybody's like, well, Steve Perry can't do it like that anymore. Jimmy Crack Corn. Like, listen, like, it's being from Jersey, it's being loyal, and knowing that as a metalhead, going on a date or being in a car with a girl, and you're putting on Journey, man, you're sealing the deal. Arnell didn't do that for me. You're laughing because you know. Arnell didn't Right, Arnell didn't seal the deal for me. Wheel of the Sky by Steve Perry sealed the deal for me. You know?
Open arms.
Right. Faithfully, we're gonna be faithful to each other the whole time you're down in Seaside. You know. All right, I gotta go. Call us again, man. I like the input. I like your energy, man.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I can't wait. Hey,
give some shout outs to somebody.
I guess just all the boys out there. But you hang out at Brookdale Park.
There you go. All right, when we come back, we got my Aunt Theresa, man. Hey, thanks again for calling.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. All right, when we come back, we got my Aunt Theresa coming on the show. But you know what I'm going to do? For Metal Mike, for calling in, I'm going to play you some Iron Maiden, brother.
Just 16.
radio just got even better with services and features no one else has. Real live radio and your music in one app. Plus, you can now get unlimited skips. Play any song. Instantly replay or add songs directly to your playlist that you hear on the radio. Even take your music offline and listen data-free. There's nothing else like it. Open the app or download it now. The new and improved iHeartRadio. Get it today.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, no need to waste it. You can have the time, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all. You're gonna make it after all.
So you gotta leave in the meow at the end. I'm Eric Danger 9 Heist. This is the Retro Radio Live, and I'm on with my Aunt Theresa Cannistraci Farrell.
Hi, Eric. How's it going?
Good. We are in National Comedy Month. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I do now.
Yeah, it's National Comedy Month. You are too funny. We have been talking about so many different crazy things, and you broke my heart the other day because we were talking about growing up in the 80s, you in New York, me in New Jersey, but I made my way over to Brooklyn, and I made my way over to Manhattan a lot. But I made my way over to Queens. One of my best friends, lived in Flushing. And they always say, what do you think about Flushing, Queens? And I'm like, it's a great idea. Right. So Palace Diner, which was across from the Quick Stop on Main Street, down from John Bowman High School.
Mm-hmm.
Best onion rings on planet Earth. And if everybody doesn't know, I'm a foodie. Like, I actually brought in, I got a place here, right? This bagel place here.
Yeah.
And they're from Morristown, New Jersey. And I got to have a garlic bagel with Taylor ham, egg, and cheese this morning.
Ooh.
You say that because you're in the heart of, New York. You can have it anytime you want it. But for me to be, listen, buttered rolls and coffee. A buck and a half. Try to get good bread.
Back in the day, it was a buck and a half.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's a buck and a half for me to tell you where to go get it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, just you graduated in the 80s, correct?
I did. I graduated in 82 from Benjamin N. Cardozo High School in Bayside, Queens.
So you are one of us. You are a Gen Xer. And I want to talk a little bit about your history, but I really want to talk about how you developed your comedy, and I was talking to Danny Provenzano about all the characters that we had at our availability, and if you talk to Johnny Brennan from the Jerky Boys, Frank Rizzo was his dad, and we had so many characters surrounding us that we just, maybe if we ventured out a little bit more, we'd find them. But I've been around this world. I mean, you have so many characters. Where are you pulling?
I do some characters.
Right.
I do.
and where do you get where are they coming from?
Most of them are really just made up in my head, quite honestly, but some of them are like Grandma Mary.
Right.
She's an Italian old lady with an accent, so that I get from my grandmother.
Right.
But these other characters that I do, they just, I don't know, sometimes they come to me. They just come to me and I have to, run with it.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I can't, I'm not one to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write about this today.
Right.
And then, put my brain to it. It doesn't work like that for me. I just, sometimes things just pop into my head.
Right.
I'll hear something or I'll see something and I'm like, and I'm old school. I'll grab paper and pen and I'll just start writing.
I was saying, because we started taking calls earlier in the show.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody, I think I was telling Rock and Robin, that like there was two types of people in Jersey, right? We had the Guidos and then we had the Burnouts, were the two major factions, right?
Yeah, we had the same thing in Queens.
Yeah. And every burnout that I knew from 79 to 89 started every conversation with, yo, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, man, you got a light? Yo, dude, you got $1? Yo, dude, you want to buy some weed? You know, where the Guidos were like, hey, yo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had a different kind of yo.
Whoa. Yo.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny. So I took the call, and it's some guy, Metal Mike from New Jersey, and he starts off with, yo, dude. I'm like, of course you did.
There you go.
Of course you did. Did you ever venture into Jersey in the 80s?
No.
Yeah, right. You didn't have to, you know.
No, I didn't have to. I stayed in Queens. I went to Brooklyn. I went into Manhattan, Long Island, where I reside now. And Jersey, no. It's not like I had family there or any need to go.
Right.
I did go there once to see Bon Jovi. I'm not going to lie. I did go to...
Because he's Italian. He's Italian. You got to, hey, Bon Jovi's Italian.
Yeah, so I had to go. But no, other than that, I can't say, no.
Okay. So I got a question that I
have an answer.
I'm sure you do. Okay.
I have many.
So, and we'll use Bon Jovi as an example. Okay?
Okay.
So, you are a well-known, screaming from the top of a mountain, original 80s Guidette, right?
I was a Guidette back in the day. I'm not going to lie. You know, I had the big hair and the Capizios and Sergio Tacchini and my
Sergio Valente were my go-tos. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I still have my Vidal Sassoon jeans up in the attic. I'm not getting rid of them.
No.
No, Jordache. I got my Jordache. I got them all.
You know, Jordache sticks out when you wear those. Thank you. So, okay. So let's just say that you went to Bon Jovi hypothetically with a pack of your Guidette girlfriends, right?
My girls, yeah.
Right. Because let me tell you why. I used to get dragged because the girl I was dating at the time loved Bon Jovi. So I would go because Billy Squier was opening for him, or somebody I liked opening, and then Bon Jovi would come on, and I'd be like, "You're on your own. I'm gonna go walk around, and I'm gonna tell you the girls, beautiful." So now I know how campy some girls can be, right?
Right.
Right. And I'm gonna say that either Jersey girls or New York girls or both were hypercritical of other girls, right? Your hair's not big enough. You're not wearing enough bracelets, or whatever the situation. Like your heels aren't big enough. Like your hair ain't tall enough. All these things.
Well, everything back then was so big as a home. Back then.
Right, bigger the better.
Yeah.
So how? And I'm sure your troupe, not even confrontationally, would cross swords with Jersey girls that looked like Lita Ford back then.
You mean like my posse girls? Yeah, you know what? You go out and you're always checking the other competition out back then.
Okay.
You're always scanning the room, seeing who they are, what they're wearing, who they're hanging out with. And there were times when we would do that. Just, scan the room and see who was there in our competition. We were from New York, so we thought who we were.
So what were some of the comments or thoughts about the competition?
Oh, probably the go-to right away is either the hair or the makeup.
Okay.
And then who should not have worn maybe a certain top or a short skirt.
Right. Okay.
That kind of thing.
Because the way, even from a funny perspective, I can see One group on one side, the other group on the other side being like, oh my God, they look like a bunch of sluts.
Well, yeah, you had the Whoas back then.
The
Yeah, you did. The Whoas.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure,
You knew who put it out and who didn't. You knew that right away.
You got their number?
Not anymore.
We got any numbers? We got any numbers? and did it bother? And I'm sure you've heard it because you don't live under a rock. The saying back then was Jersey girls best in the world, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. See, you're already showing the attitude, right?
No, I'm not
I'm
doing
kidding.
that.
I'm teasing you.
I know you're teasing me, but like I said,
yes.
Back then I didn't care. I was really Queens, Brooklyn, and Long Island, so it didn't really bother me too much.
No, because again, it's like okay, and I'll tell you what makes me think about that. There's a scene in Dazed and Confused, the film. Okay, where the girls are like, and Joey Lauren Adams are in the car. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to get mad. Tell me what she said. And she goes, oh, she called you a bitch. Oh, my God, she called that slut. Well, like, was that kind of like the attitude? Because again, we only got the sweet yous. We never saw, like, when you're with us, you were always sweet and attentive and all these things, right?
Right.
But what's the mentality of Guidettes going out on a Friday night? Are you trying to get with other guys? Are you just like going?
No, you see, with me, it was very different because first of all, I'm 100% Sicilian. I grew up in a very strict Italian family.
Right.
And my dad was like, back then they just gave you the look and you started crying. So I was a good girl. I had a lot of one dates back then because I didn't put out. That was the bottom line. I had a lot of guys take me out on one dates and they knew that I didn't do that. So they wouldn't ask me out again. So for me, I went out to dance my butt off.
Okay.
I was a dancer back then. I was actually a featured dancer on the show. Oh my goodness, New York Hot Tracks.
Okay.
And it was, Blair Underwood was the host of that, and I would go to every club they were at, and they would feature me dancing because that's what I did. My mom put me on stage at 4 years old dancing, and I'm a dancer, but I'm vertically challenged at 5'2". So the days of me being a professional dancer or a cat passed me by. But I went out to literally dance. That was my thing, just dance. And I would love to get to the club when no one was on the dance floor.
Right.
And I basically would go out there and take it over. And then people would gather around me and like cheer me on. And it was awesome because I would like feed off the audience and the people around me. Because I love that, energy. And then this one guy asked me to dance. He's like, hey, you want to dance? And I'm like, okay. And I'm dancing. I dance normal. I'll dance normal. But then if a really, really, really good song comes on and like I lose my mind, like anything by Lime or anything, I'll just start like dancing, dancing. And then the guy, he goes to me, stop it. And I go, what do you mean stop it? He goes, you have to stop dancing like that. And I'm like, why? He goes, you're making me look bad. I'm like, I'm sorry. I said, I feel the music. My body just moves.
I love it.
He left me on the dance floor. He just left me there, and I kept dancing.
Here's the keys. Lock up when you're done. So, okay. So this leads me to another question, right?
Yeah.
Growing up, and I kind of did it more for fashion sense or just trying to stay, because again, like I wasn't watching Walter Cronkite in the news. You know what I was watching? I was watching American Bandstand and I was watching Soul Train.
Oh yeah, me too. Yep.
Right. And 99.9% of the guys or girls, whatever, on American Bandstand were California kids. Of course, American Bandstand. Dick Clark started out of Philly, but literally they seemed like an infomercial for Benetton's, all colors of Benetton.
Yeah.
Like they just it was a lot of preps. You know what I mean? And then a little tiny show came out of Camden, New Jersey called Dance Party USA.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that show, the girls, let's talk about the girls on dance. Those girls were swinging wild, And then the guys were all like feathered hair with the rat tails and, the Jordache jeans and the but they had the sunglasses on the head, and they, like their fashion sense like was weird too. Because I like
very, very different.
Yeah. But if you look at Dance Party USA, yes, there was maybe 2 or 3 girls on there that just they like if Material Girl came on or something like especially like Dove's Cry or anything of with a beat on it, Raquel or Stevie B or like you could tell they felt the energy, right? But as a whole, and I'm not talking about Italian girls because a lot of Italian girls have rhythm. You have rhythm, right?
Yes, we do.
But the average white girl from New Jersey does not need to be dancing. Like, you ever see that Seinfeld episode where Elaine dances?
Oh, of course.
Right. That's
jerking her body like she's having like she's convulsing.
Right, with the thumbs.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop it. Just stop it.
That hurts to watch.
It hurts to watch.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like there was a time that you couldn't get into a club without a tie on. Like you weren't you weren't getting into the tunnel. You weren't getting into the Red Parrot unless you had a blazer on or a tie, and if you didn't have one, they gave one to you.
Yeah, you had to dress appropriately.
Yeah, and last time I went to the Russian tea room, it was the same thing. Like they will give you a tie and a jacket if you do not have one.
Yeah, they did.
But now people are showing up. I love Sergio Valente jeans. Like I like my clothes fitted. Yeah. And I've got long legs and I've got long appendages.
I like fitted clothes. I'm going to say this. I like fitted clothes on men because I find that the men today, their jeans are too saggy. I'm letting everyone know, guys, don't wear saggy jeans.
Tighten it up.
God gave you a butt.
Tighten it up. Tighten it up.
That's it.
That's right. I carry a roll of quarters in my front pocket. You can see it.
Yeah.
But
it's all about the tush. It's all about the tush.
Ah, you telling her you don't know.
I'm just saying. We say. What they say. Listen.
Yes.
They say what men look at a girl. Right. You look at a girl.
Right.
How many times have you heard a guy say, "Ooh, check out the brains on her"?
Look how smart she looks.
Come on.
I'm not leaving here without those brains.
Right, exactly. So, but as a woman, I appreciate, a man's
yes,
jeans hugging his body.
Okay.
But the men today, they're too loose. They are loose. I mean, sometimes the crotch is like down to their knees. Like, what are you doing?
Pick up your pants.
Come on.
Pick up your pants.
Look in the mirror before you leave the house.
Yeah. and I like to smell good when I can. I like to smell.
Oh, yeah. The hygiene is very important.
And it's so funny because I watched, and again, there was a couple clubs in Jersey. There's a couple Guido clubs. And it's not coming to me right now. But there was a club in Jersey, and it reeked like Aramis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. Like Polo and Aramis. Like I was gonna have an asthma attack in that place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What kind of guys attracted you in the 80s?
What kind of guys attracted me in the 80s? Yeah. Oh, I don't remember. Let's see. I don't know. I like someone who was well put together.
Okay.
Carried himself well.
Right.
Can hold an intelligent conversation.
Good luck with good luck with all that. Good luck with all that.
And if they can dance, that was a big bonus.
Don't hit my hair. He hit my hair. So
yeah, don't touch your hair.
Don't touch my hair. Hey. So
Took me hours to work on my hair.
I can see you going on one of these one dates. The one date wonder.
Yeah, one dates. I had a lot of one dates.
Theresa one date Cannistraci, right?
I told you why, right? I only have one date. I told you because I told you I could say it, right? My mom told me that if I ever had sex, she'd know because I would look different. And I was like, what? I was like, what? And I believed her. I believed her. And I was like,
yes.
Yeah, that was it.
But as a parent, I would know
It was a great
too.
strategy.
Listen, we get to a point in our lives, especially being Gen Xers, and I say it all the time, when we know because we know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how was it for you? And I'm sure, because I'm like that. How is it when you're on a first date and you're the funniest one in the car?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just myself,
Right.
and I happen to be funny. I mean, my friends told me I was funny.
Right.
I mean, I knew that I would make my friends laugh when I was with them.
Yeah.
But I never ever dreamed about being on stage telling jokes professionally ever in my life.
Well, how did you get pushed into even? Okay, because I'm going to tell you, being in Jersey,
Right.
I got told, and I didn't even know what haters were, because I never hated on anybody, you know. But I got told
It's all about love with me. All about love.
Yeah. And support. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
listen, if you're going to go do it, go do it. Like, I told everybody, I'm going to go train with Hoist Gracie. No, you're not. You're going to go train with Ken Shamrock. No, you're not. I'm going to go be on movies and television. No, you're not. I'm going to go be on the... No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You'll never be there. You're a fucking loser. So, and that's just the time. I don't know if it's the time, or it was me, or whatever it was, but I didn't even take it as a challenge. I'm just like, something's wrong with you, because I'm going to go do it. And I did. I didn't do it for revenge. I didn't do it for any wrong reasons, but...
You did it for yourself.
Right. I was inspired to go do it by... Listen, you can't give me good material and expect me not to use it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like-
well, with me, it
Yes.
was a fluke. It was really a fluke. It was in the early 90s. It had to be, I don't know, 80, maybe 80, 89, 90, 88, 88, something like that.
Right.
Late 80s, early 90s. And friends of mine gave me a birthday card, and there was pretty much this guy on the cover just wearing underwear. And it said your birthday fantasy. So back then I'm thinking a night with Antonio Sabato Jr. or something. And it was comedy classes to the Learning Annex in Manhattan.
Yep.
And I think it was 6 weeks or something. And I told them, I'm not doing this. And they're like, no, you are. We paid for it.
Right.
And you have no choice.
Yep.
And I was like, all right. So I go reluctantly, and I take the class. And at the end of the class, you have to perform at Stand Up New York. And you had to write 5 minutes of material, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's not easy to write 5 minutes of material, especially when you've never done it before. And you don't know what's funny because, comedy is, what's funny to me may not be funny to you. You know, it's very subjective.
Right.
So I write my 5 minutes, and it's pretty much about me being Italian and, my parents and food and all this other stuff. And so my teacher, Richard Minster, said, okay, Theresa, you're going up first. And I'm like, no. I said, the more they drink, the funnier I am. I said, I really don't want to go up first. And he goes, no, you have to go up first. You're the funniest one in your class. I need you to break the ice. And I was like, well, does that mean everyone else, sucks? Am I really that funny? I said, and he's like, no, you have to go up first. And I did, and I popped my cherry, so to speak. And it was great. It was great. And there's nothing like a live audience performing in front of, people and getting that reaction right away. And believe me, they will let you know if you're funny or not.
Right.
So I continued doing stand-up for a while. I did Caroline's Comedy Club, Stand Up New York, Comic Strip.
Sure.
I did, right before COVID, I did Dangerfield. I did everything in the city. I even went to Red Bank, New Jersey.
See, you did go to Jersey. Red Bank's a pretty little town.
Thanks to Omnipop, they booked me at a place called the Laughing Bean in Red Bank, New Jersey. And then I did comedy shows all over. And that's what I did for a while. And you have to really be hungry and passionate about getting out there night after night after night.
Right.
Most of the time when you first start off, open mics, not getting paid. I was at the Comic Strip, and I was just about to go up, and it was late. I mean, it's late. Sometimes you're waiting till midnight to go up, and all of a sudden Chris Rock walked in. And if I'm going to get bumped, well, you know what? Chris Rock, you can bump me anytime you want. And he did. So I didn't go up. He did instead. And who wants to follow Chris Rock?
Not me.
I don't.
Not me.
So but he was so lovely. I got to sit down and pick his brain with him a little bit, and just explain that I just started doing stand up, and what advice he can give me.
What was his best piece of advice?
His best piece of advice was basically just to keep doing it, because if you stop doing it, then obviously nothing's gonna. So his best piece, it was just don't stop, keep doing it. But unfortunately, I did have to stop when I had my daughter.
Right.
And I put everything on hold.
Sure.
And to raise her. And then, 11 years ago, I had a brain tumor, and I had to have brain surgery. And I'm blessed to talk to you right now, Eric.
Amen.
And after my brain surgery, I really evaluated my life. And the first thing I did was get rid of every toxic person in my life, because they cause stress.
Yep.
And stress changes your life, and you don't want that.
Nope.
And the second thing I did was, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? What is my passion? What puts a smile on my face? What makes me happy? And I decided I want to go full force with the acting.
Okay.
And when stand-up comes up, when someone's producing a show and wants me on it, or a fundraiser and they need me, I'm there for them. So it's like the best of both worlds at this point.
Well, and even Joe Rogan, because he has a lot of stand-up guests on, and he's a stand-up guy, and he's got his mothership, club, and he's like comedy club, like every.
It's a grind.
Right,
it's a grind.
Right. People think that, and I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal. I can't do it. I pride myself on my ability to improv. You know, because I could do characters, I could do voices, I could do all these things, right? But unless I'm in a room full of stoned on weed people, I don't think, I'm like, can we give out free weed before I go on? You know what I mean?
It's a different animal. It's a different animal in front of a live.
It's a different animal
audience.
And I was coming out of the New Yorker, I think it was the New Yorker Hotel. And I'm with Jay Muse. And if you don't know who Jay Muse is, he's Jay Muse from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
And we wanted to go to Dave and Buster's and go play video games, right? And we walked by a comedy store, a comedy club. It wasn't a comedy store, but it was a comedy club in Manhattan. And they're out, and the comics are out there hawking tickets, because if you don't know, some places you got to hawk tickets to get on stage, to get stage time.
Yeah, it's all about putting asses in the seats. And most of the time, their first, you start out open mics, and then you do what's called bringer shows, where you have to bring 5 people to get stage time, and then you build up from there. You build up your career from there.
So we go walking by, and the guy stops me and Jay, and goes, "Do you guys like comedy?" And I'm looking at Jay like, if this guy doesn't even know who Jay Muse is, there's a I go, no, we hate comedy, but he didn't get it. And we're just why would I go to a comedy show where a guy doesn't even know who Jay Muse is? It just it was weird to me. But I've been I went to a friend of mine, Lee Mandan. I really want to get into stand-up, and him and Corey Castle were doing routines, and they try them out on us, and it was clever. Some of the stuff was clever,
Right.
But they would get in front of people at an open mic and keep their hands in their pockets. There was no animation. There was no energy. There was no and you endorse it. And I want to ask why. You went to the Annex. You learned the art of stand-up. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So before you blindly want to try out material in an open mic in front of a bunch of drunk people in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, what would you suggest would be some of the stops that we could do on the bus before we get there?
Well, I think it's important to find in your town a place that teaches comedy. There are a lot of great comedy teachers out there. There are a lot of seasoned comics out there. I know we have quite a bit on Long Island.
Right.
We have, I'm going to give a shout out plug to Peter Bales, and he does what's called Stand Up University.
Okay.
And then after you're done, you get to perform. You get to perform at the club. There are. You have to really, do your homework and investigate it and find out, what's in your town, what's near you,
right.
And then really look into it. I mean, but today you can Google anything also.
You Google it.
Yeah.
Got me running around Googling things.
That's funny. You can.
You like that?
You can Google anything.
So here's my advice, right?
Yeah.
If you've got the bells to do it,
bells.
Big
bells.
You don't know about
giant bells.
Start ringing them because I'm coming. No, Bobby Lacerra, very good friend of both of ours. And for a lot of you that don't know, I was doing my iHeart show. I did it with Marty Abrams. When I have a good guest on the show, I always go to Paradise Studios in Massapequa. So huge shout out to Bobby.
Shout out to Bobby. That's my home base. That's my studio.
That's your go-to, because you do
that's where I do my show. Yeah.
Your tea time show. So
I have my talk show.
And we'll talk about it.
I know. I'm not jumping the gun.
Listen, you got me in the drive-through at McDonald's right now. What are you doing? So
Bobby's great. The studio's great, and I love that you did your show there.
No, right. But he also has an open mic, right?
He does Friday night.
Right.
Yeah.
So Friday night, it's in Massapequa, Long Island. Go to Paradise Studios. You go to ParadiseStudios.com and look at when they're having the open mic. And if you find somebody to be funny, are they approachable, in your opinion? Like, if I saw you and I said, oh, she's very funny and, I thought that was pretty clever and I got things I could relate to, how would you feel about me coming up to you and being like, hey, what's the secret to your success?
I love when people come up to me, quite honestly.
Okay.
I've had people come up to me in the past and, pick my brain a little bit.
Sure.
Or if I see a young comic, and I've done it in the past, I've seen a young comic perform there.
Right.
And watch their set, and I'll walk up to them and I'll give them a little advice. I say, listen, you can take it or leave it, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And most of the time they thank me. They're like, wow, I didn't think of it. And I appreciate it. So I love when people come up to me.
Okay.
Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. I got their attention,
Right. Here's my best piece of advice. Because, again, I can tell you that I can have a million original ideas that I think are original.
Yeah.
I don't ever believe there's an original idea out there. Like somebody somewhere said the same thing or came up with the same thing, unless it's completely obscure and it's not just weird,
Right.
But be yourself. Don't
be
try.
authentic.
Right. Don't try to be Matt Rife. Some people don't like crowd work. Some people don't like offensive Italian jokes when it got to a point in comedy where they stopped doing the race jokes. They stopped cracking on other people, and they kind of had to turn the mics internally because you can't attack me for talking about my mother throwing a Bible like a boomerang. You know what I mean?
Well, today in this society, we're a little censored, unfortunately, because we don't want to get canceled. And there's just, I don't know, sometimes I feel like we're going backwards. But that's my opinion. Anyway, you it's not like you can watch, All in the Family today or the Jeffersons or, they're just unacceptable today. And it's the best comedy ever. When you think about it.
Listen, people, and I think it's starting to loosen up a little bit, but there was a point where everybody was getting offended by everything.
Listen, the bottom line is it's comedy. We're up there to make people laugh.
Right.
We're not up there to offend anybody.
Right.
And you know what? It's gotta take some things with a grain of salt. I mean, you're coming out to laugh, and we're trying to make you laugh. We're not trying to hurt anyone or offend anyone. And that's the bottom line. And I don't want to walk on eggshells. If I think something's funny and if I want to try it out, I'll try it out.
Right.
If it offends somebody, you can't make everybody happy.
I was just going to say, you can't make everybody happy. Don't, like...
You can't. And let me tell you another thing. I can do, and this has happened, I've done a show at 7 o'clock. It's killed. It was great. And then I did the same thing at 10 o'clock, and it wasn't as great. It's not that I heard crickets, but it wasn't as great. Every crowd is different. Every reaction is going to be different. Every set is going to be different. What I will say to people who do want to do comedy, right?
Yeah.
Get out there at an open mic and try it out. And what's really important is record every set you do.
Well, that's
record it, because you're going to hear where people laugh and where they don't. What jokes work, what jokes you have to throw out and start all over again.
And I sent you that in a text the other day because I remember going to Caroline's Comedy Club, and I met with the owner, very flamboyant guy, right? I'll just put it as flamboyant. And I'm like, why aren't you filming some of these comics? Because what I was doing at the time, which is not talking about comedy, but I was taking a lot of these contracted UFC fighters that I was training with, and a lot of my other friends that owned martial arts schools would be like, "Ooh, can you get them to do a seminar here?" Right? So, as an example, I brought Chris Lights Out Lytle to this martial arts school. 150 people came to train with him. Right? I said, well, you know what? First of all, it turns out to be, if I film it, even a seminar, turns out to be a training tool. Secondly, who doesn't want to see themselves training with a UFC fighter at that point?
Absolutely.
So I took that philosophy and I went to, and it was the only one I went to. And I went to Caroline's and I pitched the idea, like, why aren't you, and this was 20-something years ago. And I said, hey, I'd love to come in and film some of these comics. Let's start a DVD series, of comics coming in. Because at least now you're generating, and I would have done a 50-50 thing on them. I would have done all the editing, all the producing, all the lighting, all the filming, and done a 50-50 split with them on the DVDs.
Yeah. And
you're capturing, even like catching somebody now that ends up being great later. Like I couldn't convince this guy to do it. He's like, for what? And I'm just like,
because it's never been done, and they turn away from anything that's new or different.
Right. And again, and I tell people this, if Vegas doesn't get you, this is a big planet. Try Australia, try South Africa, try Florida, try anywhere else that actually gets you. That's going to put support behind you. It's going to put marketing behind you.
Right.
Because I saw, who was it? I saw, what's his name? Brett Ernst. Brett Ernst is a Jersey guy, right? And he had another Jersey guy with him, and he had a pompadour the size of like 3 feet tall, just to like be like a goof Guido. And he opened up for Brett Ernst. And I know that Brett Ernst does this joke about the roller skating rink. He did it on the Wild West Comedy Tour with Vince Vaughn. And it's F Tony, I'm going out there. They're playing my song, but and he'd go through all these Guido jokes.
Right.
And I saw him in San Diego at the Comedy Store. Because I appreciate a good Jersey guy. I'll always go and support a good Jersey guy. My friend Christian Massot from Jersey just did an art show at Caesars. I went and supported him. They loved it because Guidos, in all their little quirks and mannerisms, right, are funny. Like Andrew Dice Clay's original Dice, like he's a Jewish kid from Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he created Dice in L.A. living with 2 other comics because it's funny. So, yeah, you're not going to get a good response on a Guido joke in Bensonhurst as you would, in L.A. or in North Carolina. Like, timing is everything in comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, I want to talk to you about female comics, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I'm no critic and I'm no judge and I'm not trying to hurt anybody or say anything bad about anybody or,
Yeah.
My observation, right? Amy Schumer's not funny. And Amy Schumer came out of the gate publicly, because I'm sure she was doing her things before that. You guys all do. But they try to do this shock vagina humor. Like girls don't really talk like that. And she's like, yeah, I'm taking it, I'm doing doggy style or whatever she talks about to kind of shock people into like shock comedy. When
I agree with you. There are a bunch of female comics that do that.
Why?
Why?
Because you're not funny?
That's a good question. I don't do that. First of all, I don't curse during my set. My mother's like, don't sound like a truck driver. There's no need. I was like, okay.
Yep.
So I don't curse, but
Right.
I am risque. I'm risque. My mind always goes in the gutter for some reason.
So you don't,
I'm a little risque.
So you don't like guys?
No, I do. Yes.
Okay, because you're like. My
point is
yes.
that the young comics today,
right?
The young, the ones that I'm seeing coming up, unfortunately, they just, they think that if every other word is the F word, and they talk about like the dirtiest, nastiest stuff ever,
Right.
it's funny. But quite honestly, it's not.
It's not.
You really have to sit down, be intelligent, and write something that is going to work. And the other thing is you want your jokes to be relatable.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I talk about my family and my crazy family, no one comes from, everyone's got a little something in their families. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Everyone's got
a little more of something.
No one's the Cunninghams, okay?
Right.
So the point is that, and then food. We all eat food, and most of us struggle with our weight. Or me being vertically challenged at 5'2", I talk about my height, my weight, what I eat. I talk about my family. You have to talk about what's relatable, what
Right.
people can relate to. A situation in a restaurant with a waitress, or it could be any kind of scenario. But just to get up there, and every other word is F this, F that, F and this, F and that.
Right.
You lose the audience like that.
Right.
Who wants to hear that?
Okay.
Really, who wants to hear that?
No, I don't. It's cute for about 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Then,
And again, okay. So you're saying that nobody are the Cunninghams?
no one's the Cunninghams.
Right.
We don't have skeletons in our closet. No one's perfect.
We're more like the Waltons on meth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. The Brady Bunch on coke.
Exactly. Right. And so, and I liked, and I know I'm tearing apart her name, and she can tear apart my name whenever she feels appropriate. But like Eliza Schlesinger, the blonde, I think she's great.
Yeah.
She is literally, and again, she just had a baby. She got married, and I'm gonna talk about that as a second part of this conversation. But to me, she screams Queen of the Millennials. You know, like she can control a room, being that Queen of Millennials. Like she's 35 and all these other things. And I think that's wonderful. She talks about such funny things, doesn't curse, right?
Right.
But here's what happens, in my opinion. Guys like Maniscalco stop being funny. Guys like, I don't know. Well, let me tell you why I'm saying it. And again, we'll talk about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy says, he's scared to do stand-up because people don't understand the whole of how it works, right? You're going to continue to be funny because you never left the street level. Like now that Maniscalco's drinking silver colloidal water, living in this giant house, he's got 3 kids and Amazon packages coming like crazy. They're in and out. I didn't even order it. It's like, dude, like poor friggin' you. Like you lost connection with the street. You were funnier when you were talking about your father. Like he was a waiter at the Four Seasons. He'd leave on a break to go do a set, then come back and be, because you were hungry. right?
Yeah.
You're not hungry anymore.
Right.
Right. You disconnected.
That's what happens, unfortunately.
You disconnected, right? Where, and again, Tracy Morgan did that big I'm fake, I'm hurt, and like he was always a good support comic. But now that you got $40 million, you're not funny anymore. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's like, I've been home. I don't go out. I go and do film.
He's a grandpa.
Right. I'm like, what am I going to do? Tell diaper changing grandpa jokes?
Yeah.
And he's telling you that he's disconnected without telling you he's connected anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So again, you went and got yourself pregnant, right? You left stand up, right? Your mom tried to tell you didn't want to listen, but you went out and got pregnant.
I got mad. Listen to me. There were two ways to leave my house: death or marriage. Okay.
Right.
So, I couldn't have an apartment on my own or do what I wanted to do. So at 25,
right.
I got married for the first time, and and then I had my daughter. My beautiful daughter, Valerie, and I stayed home. That's what I did. I wanted to raise my daughter, and that's what I did. And then, like I said, she got older, and I got older, and I was able to return to the stage.
Well, that's my whole point to this, to what I'm spewing about, is that you stayed connected to the street. You went back to the street. You got to come back to the street. You got to come back to our level. You know what I mean?
You do. And you have to stay humble. You have to stay humble and remember where you came from.
Right.
So important.
Right.
So important.
Because I think
there's so many stories I hear with actors and comics where they forget where they came from. They forget a lot of things, and it to me it's sad. Listen, if God willing, my career heads in an upward direction,
right?
And I don't need to be rich and famous. Okay, I like my anonymity. I like going to the store. I don't have to worry about putting on makeup or that kind of thing. But I mean, look, if God grants me whatever is meant to be, I'm going to take it. Don't get me wrong. But you have to stay connected. Stay connected to your family. Stay connected to your friends.
Stay humble. Stay hungry. Stay hungry.
Hungry too, hungry, because when you lose that hunger and you lose that, it's passion. It's passion. They lose the passion, and I don't see me losing the passion. I wake up every day, thanking God for another day and saying, okay, what are we doing? Let's do it. Let's just do it, because no one is promised tomorrow.
Right.
No one.
Right.
And you have to live life. Not like it's your last day, like everyone says, because, what would you do on your last day? No. It doesn't work like that. Just live every day to your fullest.
Right. Today's a brand new day. It's like the start of your life all over again.
That's it. Surround yourself with people who put a smile on your face and who are positive. And if you are around negativity and toxic people, remove yourself from that, because it's so not worth it. It really isn't.
Right. So when you go into
now I'll get off my soapbox.
Okay. I dropped something in the can for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So going from comedy, because you're not given any direction. Like, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. If you're not on stage getting direction. Now you're because we were talking about this, and Joe Rogan talks about this all the time, that the early comics like you and him and God, I could name 1,000 early 80s comics. The goal was to get a TV series. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh yeah.
But
back in the day. Yeah.
Right. But now, like, how do you go? Because you've done some television, you've done some films.
Yeah.
And you host your own talk show. Okay.
I do.
And for those that you don't know, and I don't know for a fact, I'm just going to say it because I think Bobby Lissar, of course, is helping you. But
yeah, he's my director. He's my director. Well, he's the man behind the curtain.
And that's my question. That's my swerve into this conversation. You're not given direction when you're on stage doing comedy, right?
No.
How does that?
You're flying by the seat of your pants. That's what you're doing.
Right. Whatever happens, happens. You know
That's
what I
it.
mean? But you learn by failing in comedy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right. And timing is everything. Like, learn as much as you can about what you're going to do before you do it. I'm a big advocate in getting education.
Yeah.
How do you go from not taking any direction, figuring it out to a certain extent, and now you actually want to put yourself into acting roles where you're forced to take direction? Like, how do you acclimate?
Well, for me, I started in theater very young.
Okay.
So me personally, I was used to that. From my mom putting me on stage at 4 to doing shows in school and community theater. And, so it's a totally different animal.
Right.
It's like being you're self-employed when you're a comic and you're on stage and, it's a free-for-all and you can do whatever you want. But obviously when you're doing a job like a movie or a commercial or something for TV, yes, there are other people involved. You're not the only one on stage now. So you have to pay attention. You have to show up prepared. You have to know your lines.
Yep.
A lot of listening is involved and really absorbing what's around you to really learn the business, because that's what it is. It's show business. It's a business. Just like with comedy, like I said before, it's about putting asses in the seats. And if you don't put asses in the seats, you don't get stage time. That's the bottom line. These owners of comedy clubs, that's their business. The business is to make money. And when it comes to acting, it's the same thing. You're the product and you have to deliver.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
And you have to raise your own equity. Like, I went to Joey Schlemiel's acting class for 3 hours and I learned it all. Where guys like Paul Vario and Big Pussy and those guys went for 3 years. Like, I studied.
Vinny Pastor.
They all studied with Thomas G. Waits. Like, I studied with Richard Hatch. I studied with Ernest Thomas. I studied with John Savage. I studied with people from the Actors Studio.
Right.
Because I went to, John Savage had taken me around to acting schools, and I'm like, this is the Uta Hagen Acting School or the Stanford Meisner. And it's, some guy that learned from some guy that learned from Stanford Meisner, and this is his interpretation of it.
Correct. Yeah.
And what?
Look, I've had many acting teachers over the years.
Right.
Usually, once I feel like I've gotten everything I can out of them, it's time to move on to the next person and see what take they have on certain things and what I can absorb and learn from them. Right now, I'm going to be studying with. I'll give a shout out to Rob Bartlett. And for those people who don't know Rob Bartlett, he was with Imus for many years. I think over 30 years.
Right.
He's a man who's done TV, movies, commercials. He was on Broadway with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane in The Odd Couple. I mean, the man has a 40-year career in this, and I'm blessed to study with him. And he can, he's wise and he's been around over 40 years, and I want to be the sponge and I want to absorb everything he's teaching me.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the other thing is constantly keep learning, keep reading, keep studying.
Everybody says that. We're going to say it too. Keep learning, keep studying. And I had saw, and I'm not going to put him on blast because I don't want to do that, but there's an acting school in Connecticut that a lot of these guys train with. And I wanted to bring in a few of my acting friends to do seminars. And I called the guy up, and he's like, no, we're not interested. And I'm like, okay. And I looked the guy up on IMDb. He's got 5 IMDb credits, except they're all in special thanks. Like, how fake of an acting school can you get? Like, so what I was suggested, so after I went and looked at all these schools, because I grew up in Montclair, New Jersey. Like, we had a school of performing arts. John Kapelos, great guy. He played Carl, the janitor in Breakfast Club. He was
he did. Yeah,
he was the Rice Checks in 16 Candles. He's an awesome guy, right? And I told you this story, and I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse, but I had an audition to try out for the Groundlings.
Yeah,
and John Kapelos made me sweat. Like, drenched from head to toe in sweat in improv and practicing and changing characters and like Like I'd get up, characters would change. I'd go get a glass of water, character changed. Like boom, like rapid fire stuff, right?
Yeah.
And Richard Hatch from Battlestar Galactica played Jan Berry in the Dead Man's Curve movie.
Yeah.
And Jan Berry had suffered a head injury, during his career.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I really think that Richard Hatch encapsulated that role. So John Savage said to me, "Who do you like as far as acting goes?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well," and I was talking to Ernest Thomas at the time because Ernest Thomas had came to when I was in middle school. He read Malcolm X written by Alex Haley at the library, and it sold me on like it's not just reading a bunch of lines and going no, it's acting through it. So I started with Ernest Thomas. It took me a year to convince Richard Hatch that I was ready. And after about a year and a half, he goes, "There's nothing else I can teach you." And that's another whole long story. But if you're really like, okay, Thomas G. Waits, if you're going to learn acting, and he's a big Hamlet guy, I'm not. Like, I will call him for advice. I will tell people to go to him. But for me, it's not my thing.
Right.
When I got told to pick a monologue, I went to Barnes and Noble in Burbank, and there's a whole section on there's a monologue book thicker than War and Peace, and I couldn't find one that it sounds like me. Like I'm from Jersey, I don't talk like that. I don't sound right. So I called up Thomas Waits, and I go, "What do I do?" Because Richard Hatch wants me to do a monologue tonight. He says, "Write your own. Write your own."
I was, Eric, I was just going to say that's exactly what I did. The monologue that I sent to you, the Betsy monologue.
Yep.
I wrote that.
Awesome. Right.
I wrote that monologue.
Right. Because we're our own thing. Like, we've already got a Jimmy Walker. We've already got a Warren Beatty. We've already got a Cheech and Chong. Be your own person. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. Now, I don't get into politics. I don't get into religion. I don't get into these things online. But I talk about my private life. It's my private life. Right. Well, so I'm going to talk real quick about the incident. It's old. It's done already. And a fork's been stuck in it. But it still bothers me that Will Smith attacked Chris Rock live at the Oscars.
Oh, you want to go there?
Okay, well, we went there.
Let's go there.
Oh, we're going there.
I think it was, just like everyone else was in shock when they saw it. They didn't know if it was staged or not until everyone found out that it wasn't.
Right.
And it was to me, watching it was horrific. I gasped. I covered my mouth. I was like, what the? And I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Right. Okay.
And I'd be honest with you, Chris, I want to say was the better person and gentleman
100%.
Because he did not retaliate. He just took it in stride.
Right.
It was just a horrific situation that no one should see that. And that brings me to how adults act in public.
Right.
Okay. I like all sports. I really, really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yep.
But when it comes to hockey, as soon as those guys throw down their gloves and start swinging,
right,
everybody needs to be ejected, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Because you see, you have young children watching this stuff, and they emulate you. And it's like you're telling them it's okay. This is the sportsmanship you're showing is okay.
Right.
And it makes me crazy. So what did Will Smith do? What did he do?
Right.
What did he do? He unfortunately acted before he thought.
Yeah.
And I think that if he took 5 seconds to think before he moved,
yep,
then he wouldn't have looked like the idiot he was.
I would have waited to yes, you would have seen a scowl on my face when the camera was at me, and I would have pulled Chris Rock to the side. First
Absolutely.
of all, I wouldn't have said anything because it's comedy, like it's a joke.
It is comedy, and if you do look at the camera shots back and forth, you saw Will was laughing.
Oh, until
he was laughing
until his wife.
Until he looked over and saw his wife's face. Then he's thinking, "Oops, I better not laugh at Chris."
Right. Yep. And
You
then
know, like he
and
got
then I'm
caught.
sure she got into it. You know, here nor there. If he felt that way about it, he should have pulled Chris to the side and been like, "Yo, that wasn't cool."
Right. Do be an adult. Be
Right.
an adult.
Right. It's
Be an adult. And quite honestly, Chris could have had him arrested for assault, and he could have went down that road, and he didn't.
Well, we don't rap. We don't call cops, and we don't rap. Right.
Right.
But again,
Yeah.
you know, he would have been like, "Look, man, it was a joke. If you took it bad, I apologize." But to disrespect the Oscars, and then to give him an Oscar that night.
Yeah, that was just dumbfounding to me. It was just crazy.
Right, and now everybody's screaming about the Grammys, and I'm just like, bleh, to all of it. You know, because there's people, believe it or not, there's people that I believe deserve stars on the Walk of Fame. Like, it's a nice way of feeling like your contributions were relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. So now they want $75,000 for a star. And,
what?
Right. Oh, yeah. And you have to do like.
You mean they don't just give it to you?
No, those are all paid for. They're all $75,000.
You mean you can buy your own star?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, you got to be in.
No. If you look at because I wanted to get John Savage one when they were 25,000. Because John Savage pays 15 homeless people's phone bill every month he doesn't even know.
Oh.
Like he has Govins when Nelson Mandela's, passed away, we donated 25,000 soccer balls to the schools in South Africa.
Right.
He does so many things to give back to the world that he doesn't talk about. So if you look at the critique of which to get a star, it's how have you helped the community? How have you helped the industry? How have you helped these things? And oh, by the way, make your check payable to the Walk of Fame Foundation, $25,000. Blah blah blah.
Right. Well, that's like George Steinbrenner. George Steinbrenner didn't know 80% of what he did for children in hospitals and all the private things he did without advertising it. Well, he was very, very private about it.
Okay. Right. So okay, let's real quick because I'm gonna test your metal. Right. You said you're a sport.
Remember, I have brain surgery. I don't know.
Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna.
I can't remember stuff.
We're gonna find out right now. Okay.
Oh no.
So, yesterday the Seahawks played New England Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did.
Who won the World Series?
Who won the World Series? You're talking about the Super Bowl. Are we talking about the Super Bowl?
Okay. I'm just making sure you were paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
Do you know?
I got that disease. My funds are low.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many home runs that Seattle hit? do you know how many goals the Patriots made? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend over here.
That's funny. That's good.
The funny guy.
Yeah.
Yep. So and I'd ask you, touchdown. How many touchdowns did the New York Rangers make last night?
That's funny.
Yeah, the New York Knickerbockers versus the Hollywood Canucks. So I wanted, because we got to wrap up in a minute, but I wanted to ask you.
We do. I thought we had plenty of time.
Oh, you want to keep going? We keep going. We go. Like, listen, the cows ain't home yet.
I got time. Yeah.
Okay.
It would take. Yeah, I got time. Go ahead. I got at least. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I got to take a commercial break. Can you hold on?
Yeah, we got so much more to talk about. Go ahead.
I got to play some bumpers. I got to play some commercials. Stand by when we come back. My Aunt Theresa's going to tell you what time it is.
radio just got even better with services and features no one else has. Real live radio and your music in one app. Plus, you can now get unlimited skips. Play any song. Instantly replay or add songs directly to your playlist that you hear on the radio. Even take your music offline and listen data-free. There's nothing else like it. Open the app or download it now. The new and improved iHeartRadio. Get it today.
All right, we are back. I wanted to ask you, and I'm glad you stuck around. I wanted to ask you what sets, and if there is a big set difference between female comics and male comics, and getting how you get treated at comedy clubs.
No, to be quite honest with you, I don't think much has changed from when I started comedy in the early '90s as far as female comics go. It's harder for us. It's a male-dominated industry.
Okay.
Most of them are, but I do see more female comics out there,
right,
doing their thing than when I first started in the early '90s. There are a lot more female comics now, but it's hard. It's hard to get stage time. I think they're more inclined to put up a male than a female.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well,
to me, not much has changed.
I think, in my opinion, if you look at like Robin Harris, he was the first African American to open up an all black comedy club in Compton. Or if you look at like Mitzi Shore, female in the comedy
Paulie's
store,
mom.
right? Paulie Shore's mom. Like,
yeah.
Is it? You think it's a business decision, or do you think it's? I don't know.
I mean, I know. Al Martin, may he rest in peace. Owns Broadway Comedy Club, and his wife is continuing his legacy. And he started out as a comic, and that's what made Al different.
Okay.
What made Al different is that he was a stand-up comic before he was a club owner. It makes a huge difference. It really does.
Oh, it absolutely does. Like I have conversations with people that want to be directors. They want to be producers, and I always tell them, because the first book I read was Respect for Acting by Uta Hagen. And a lot of acting friends of mine have read that book, and I think that a lot of listen, there's nothing wrong with Martin Scorsese. There's nothing wrong with a lot of these, Brian De Palma, all these big directors that never took an acting lesson in their life. But if you also look at the flip side of that, excuse me, I have to cough. If you look at like Martin Scorsese's mom was in it. In a lot of his stuff. So she's acting.
She was in Goodfellas, yeah.
Right.
She played herself.
Oh, right. She plays herself.
Yeah. She was the mom who cooks the meal.
Right. So if you look at how he treats his actors, where Milos Forman, who directed Hair and a lot of these other things, I mean, I've heard that he was a tyrant. Like, he was just horrible to the actors. I think that if you're going to be a director, you're going to be a producer, you're going to get into the industry, understand the people that you're working with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Mitzi Shore and Yakov Smirnoff as a perfect example. He lived above the Comedy Store. Like, I think Mitzi Shore did a lot to protect comics.
Right.
I think that she, if you don't see something broken, then you shouldn't try to fix it. You know what I mean? Because comedy is used to be everybody was against each other. I think it's changed to the point where now they're all their camaraderie, and the fact that they're still standing has a lot to do with it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to be, I don't know, because I'm not a stand-up comic.
You know what it is? There's all different phases in comedy. There's all different types of stand-up in comedy. Everyone starts out open mics, ringers, and then they get on a show that's being produced, and they'll get paid. They'll get some kind of money in their pocket.
Right.
To do this as a career is one in a million.
Right.
It's like acting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, to do it as a career, and like Eddie Murphy, like George Carlin. Like now you have all these comics that tour. They're on tour. Bobby Collins, I've had on my show.
Matt, I don't think Matt Rife. I don't even think guys like Matt Rife have been home. I haven't been home in a year.
Right, exactly. There are people out there that are constantly. Listen, that's another animal, and it's a different life.
Right.
Living out of your suitcase and never being home. It is a different kind of animal, and it takes a special person to go on the road and do that kind of gig. I mean, if someone asked me tomorrow, "Hey, you want to open for me? I'm doing shows. You want to come with me and open for me?"
Right.
I at this point in my life,
yes.
I told you I say yes to everything pretty much within reason because you don't know where it's going to lead you or take you. I would probably say yes, give it a shot, do it for a while, and say, "Hey, I did it. I had fun doing it, and I made people laugh." There are some people that never want to go on the road, and do comedy. I know people who just do cruise ships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Joe Rogan said that some of the funniest people he ever ran into were like they're still at the same club in Rhode Island, being the kings of Rhode Island.
Yeah,
and that's their comfort level.
There's so many different facets
right.
and directions that you can go in. It just depends on what you want out of it.
Right. Do you think that it's like, to me, like getting like trying to be funny with something that trying to find humor. I try to find humor in everything like that. If I'm nervous, if I'm upset, like I will make a joke and I'll get told, that's not it. There's a time and a place that ain't it. But that's my fight or flight response is to make a joke.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's funny, in my opinion, making Trump jokes is funny or making Biden jokes or Kamala Harris jokes. Trying to bring politics or religion into humor is just trying to get a cheap pop.
There are comics that go there. I'm not one of them.
Right.
I don't do either one. I try to keep my comedy light and, like I said, relatable.
Right.
And there's a time and a place to talk religion or politics. But I'm not one to do it.
Yeah, I don't have to make it like a dick and fart joke to get over. Like
no, and I call it. Yeah, no, I won't do it.
Right, no, me either. So again, it goes back to these females doing shock humor. Is there more of how do I ask this? Like, do you or have you experienced like inappropriate stalkers being a female comic?
I don't know. In what sense? In what way do you mean?
Like, I love the fans that keep coming back. Like when I did pro wrestling, like I had people that followed my career, and they
make me to see the same faces all the time. I mean,
right.
To have a fan base,
right,
and know that I'm going to be performing here this night, and put it out there, and I have this, the same people come and see me. That's gold.
That's platinum, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. That you want to come see me, and they love when I do a New York lottery joke, and I do a feminine douche commercial where I do 3 different characters. I do a Valley girl, I do my Italian grandmother, and I do a lesbian construction worker. And when people remember it and they want to see it again,
right.
That's when I say, I'm keeping it. People laughing at it, and they must think it's funny. That's like, again, Bob Nelson. Shout out to
I was
Bob Nelson.
just about to say Bob Nelson. You study with Bob Nelson.
Bob Nelson. Bob Nelson's my hero. Bob Nelson is the gentleman who got me back into doing stand-up comedy after my brain surgery.
Right. Real quick, just for all you Gen Xers out there, he's the one that did the football gag with the shoulder pads.
Yeah, he did Jiffy Jeff Jim.
Right.
He's incredible, and he's the one who got me into prop comedy and doing characters.
Right.
And he was doing a 6-week improv thing in Huntington, and I said, I'm going, and I'm getting to work with Someone who I
Absolutely.
used to watch, on Rodney Dangerfield's HBO specials. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love Bob. Shout out to Bob. I'm hoping to have him on my talk show soon. But Bob's the one who put me on stage and was doing improv with me and teaching me. And it was a blessing and a lesson. And, there was nothing more I could ask for. But when you have people, they're like, oh, can you, and people, when you're used to seeing Bob doing Jiffy Jeff's Gym or the football bit, or you're used to seeing me doing the Feminine Douche commercial, people actually look forward to that. And when you don't do it, they get a little disappointed.
Right. It's like Dice with the nursery rhymes.
Correct.
Right.
Or him doing all the impressions of De Niro and Travolta and Pacino and
Sylvester
when he does that
Stallone
whole
and
thing.
right. Yeah.
It's a great bit.
Right. Yep. And
It's classic. It's classic.
Yep. And and again, I liked him in Ford Fairlane. Like, he's just so, like, animated. You know what I mean? And he's a Brooklyn guy. He comes from Kings Highway.
Yeah.
And Club Soda Kenny, his bodyguard, was a cop by the name of John Feder out of West Orange, New Jersey. He was always, like, I grew up going to Rascals, and he was a mainstay at Rascals, right? Seeing Bobcat Goldthwait there, seeing Sam Kinison there. Like, we had so many great comics in the 80s, Robin Williams. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Dice. Well, his home base was Pips in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And they used to tell me, listen, if you can do Pips in Brooklyn, because they are the toughest crowd. If you do well at Pips, you can do well anywhere. And I have to say,
yes,
being an Italian girl, even though I wasn't from Brooklyn, I was from Queens. I did pretty good. I did pretty well there.
Oh,
and
okay.
Then I went to go see Dice at my home comedy club, which was Jimmy's Comedy Alley in Bayside.
Right.
That's where I hung out, and I got to meet a lot of the comics back then.
Okay.
Joey Cola, Richie Burns, Jackie the Joke Van Martling, just to give some shout outs. And these are all comics that I still am friends with today.
F Jackie. F Jackie. I need more money from Howard. I got fired at the Christmas party. F Jackie. Jackie Marley's a character, I'll tell you. And they all got something like, I think there's something wrong with all of us to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the stage is our therapy. That's the bottom line. I don't have to pay someone to go talk to them. I just talk to an audience.
I need right. So let's talk about it's Love Bro. Like,
it's Love Bro. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Oh, I
It's
had
Love Bro.
to.
I'm excited about this. So, It's Love Bro is a romantic comedy.
Right.
And I play the lead character is Bob, and I play his mom.
Okay.
And Bob obviously is my son. I play his mom.
Yep.
And right now it's on Amazon Prime if anyone wants to watch a romantic comedy.
Yep.
It's funny. I'm very funny. And I had a blast filming it with George Massimillo and his whole crew. And it's great. And then I just found out through my friend Michael that I'm in another movie called Horsetown. And that's on Reveal, Reveel right now. This is kind of wild. It's like a drama thriller.
Right.
I play a real estate agent by day, and I'm in a cult by night.
Of course you are.
Yeah, it's great.
Of course you are.
Yeah, but I'm excited that those two things are where people are able to watch them because, I do a lot of indie stuff. And,
You and me
you
both.
don't know where anything's going to go.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You didn't want me to put Gravesend on the poster. I wanted to because I've had people on the show.
Well, wait a second. Let me clear that up. So
Yeah,
I don't
clear
get
it up.
anyone
Clear
pissed
it
off
up.
at Gravesend, including Willie DeMeo. The reason why I didn't want Gravesend on the poster was because I did not play a character with lines.
But that's fine. That was my whole point of putting it on there. Because a lot of these people, and I got to give it, and I'm segueing into something. So just follow my lead for a minute. Dice
is in Gravesend. Give that out.
Yep. So a lot of people that get into this industry don't understand the business of acting.
Oh, yeah.
So my friend Stanley,
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah.
all in the same day.
Yeah.
And Stanley Livingston, who played Chip Douglas in My Three Sons, wrote this incredible training program. It's called The Business of Acting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put a link somewhere where you can find it, but it actually teaches you the business of acting. Some people in LA make a living doing extra work at Central Casting. Okay?
Absolutely.
I think I was an extra 2 or 3 times. I know I was a plant on the Geraldo Rivera show. I was in a movie a long time ago called Humps. It was about camels that were replacing horses in the military. Okay.
Okay.
And then and I saw the filming of the Amityville Horror with James Brolin.
Right.
And Margot Kidder. In my opinion, if you want to learn how real films are made, do it. Do it.
Be an extra.
Be an extra. See how things work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because getting through acting school is one thing. Taking directions is another thing. Being on
set.
Right.
It's another thing.
Because, the last film I did was Almost Mercy, and I left it all on set, but I was there for 16 hours,
Yeah.
Walking Dead, you're on set for 16, 17, 18 hours.
Right.
And the SAG norm is 3 pages a day for a script, right?
Right.
Those 3 pages, depending on the direction, the production, the size of the production, everything else, can end up being a week-long thing for 3 pages.
Yeah, look, you never know.
Right.
Like I said, I do a lot of indie work. Okay.
Right.
And also, me being an extra, I was an extra back in the 80s when White Shadow with Ken Howard.
I loved it. With Salami.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I did that. And then the other 2 big, because I don't do much background. I really don't. I did the Gravesend, and I had I was lucky enough to work with Fran Drescher, and that was great. But I also did Maestro with Bradley Cooper, and the reason why I took it was because he was directing it, and the man was 15 feet away from me, telling me what to do. And I loved every minute of it. And then the other second one I did was Succession. So, it's nice to get on big productions.
Oh, absolutely.
And do extra work.
But I like to learn, too. Like John Savage was in The Godfather 3, and he's filming in Italy. But he's like, we sat around for 15 hours doing nothing.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of, as we say in Italian, pazienza.
Right.
Patience. You have to have a lot of patience
You do.
for this industry.
You do.
And, people want to know, why does it take so long for a movie? Why does it take a year for a movie to come out? Well, why? You got to do sound. You got to do color. You have to do
color
editing,
correction. Right. Post-production alone can take anywhere between a month to 3 months to do, depending on.
Absolutely.
Like people understand, like everything's coming out in 6, 8, and 12K now. And if you don't know the size of those files, they are huge. Like it would take, even on a 4K render, it could take 6 or 7 hours to render 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, and then God forbid there's a callback 3 months later, and they got to reshoot or do something like
pick up. Yeah.
Right. Oh my God. Nightmare stuff.
It's a lot. I love it. I love it. If I could be on set every day, I would. I mean, my goal before I die is to get on Law and Order, because that's what my father said
mine
to
too.
me. He said,
Mine too.
He said it. My dad, God bless my dad, he's going to be 91 in March, and he's like, I love what you do. I'm proud of you, but you have to get on Law and Order before I die. And I'm like, I'll try, Dad, but I can't.
It's not. It's about who you really know. Like, I know a lot of my friends.
My whole thing is I don't want to be the dead body, and I don't want to. I want 5 and under. I want 5 lines and under. I want to be the nurse that tells Mariska Hargitay, Dr. Smith will be right out to let you know how Mr. Simmons is
listen,
doing.
I could play a biker that sold somebody the bad drugs, I can play a million things on that show. I can cut my hair and play a prosecutor or a lawyer.
There you go.
I mean,
there you go.
Right. I mean, Would I cut my hair to do it? Would I cut my hair to do it if I had to for Law and Order? Yes.
All right, there you go. There you go.
But I ain't getting it. I ain't cutting my hair. So. But you know what? You created Tea Time.
I did. I created. Well, I have my own talk show, and I started it. God, I was trying to figure it out.
Right.
I think I'm going on 7 years with Bobby, and a year before that. So I think I'm going on like 8 years or something. It's crazy. Someone said, "Hey, you want to come on our show?" And I did, and then I was like, you should have you could be the first female comic to have your own talk, at the time podcast. And I was like, and I did that for a year. And then Bobby Lacera, God bless him, he kept saying, come by me, come by me, come by me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I finally, because he said, you're not really a podcast, you're really a talk show. And I said, okay. And basically my show is set up, I'm not comparing myself to Oprah Winfrey in no shape or form, but it's basically a one-on-one interview with anyone in the entertainment industry, from producers, directors, musicians, athletes. It's 55 minutes of it being all about them.
Right.
What led them to where they are, where they're going, what they're doing, what they want to plug, and and just have a great time doing it. I try to keep my show fun, interesting, and entertaining. And when my guest says, you know what, that went so fast and I had so much fun, that's all I need to hear,
So how can we see
and
it?
I'm having you on.
Oh no. Well, you and I had actually talked about something. I don't know if I want to bring it up now because I don't want our ideas stolen, right?
Well, we don't have to tell anybody the idea.
Right.
But I will say, listen, you invited me on your show and I'm inviting you on my show, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, it's networking. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Did you like the Danny Provenzano interview?
Did I what?
Did you like the Danny Provenzano interview?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Danny's great.
Yeah.
I spoke to Danny back in July to do my show.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I learned, and then having Stephen DeAngelis, like everybody learns something, or walks away with something.
Too.
Absolutely. So how can we see you on Strong Island TV?
Okay, so my show is live every Monday night at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time.
That's tonight.
On YouTube. Yeah, I'm going live tonight at 8:00 on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
And under Tea Time with Theresa or Strong Island Television. And then my show goes to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, Apple TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard. And I'm seen every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Channel 20 for people who live on Long Island and get Optimum TV.
How can we find you or follow your career?
Me?
Yeah, how can we find you?
I'm on Instagram as Theresa, Theresa.c.Farrell, Farrell. And then they can check me out on Facebook. I'm on Theresa Cannistraci Farrell, and pretty much post everything I do.
Do you want to give any shout outs?
I want to give a shout out. I'll give a shout out to my mom and dad.
Hey, mom and dad.
My mom's going to be 88. My dad's going to be 91. I'm very, very blessed to still have them on this earth. Shout out to my daughter, Valerie LaRose, and her husband, Steven. Shout out to my sister, Janine Goldfarb, and her husband, Mike. And shout out to my brother, Salvatore Cannistraci, and his beautiful wife, Nicole, and my niece, Victoria.
Do you have a website?
I do not. I know you're going to yell at me for that.
Well, okay. Well, that's something else we could talk about on the air.
That's something we have to do.
So here's my last question, and I really, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to send you.
I want to thank you for having me. This is a blast.
We're just getting warmed up. Believe me, you're going to be back.
Yeah, we are. I need to get warmed up here in New York.
Well,
it's freaking cold. 6 degrees the other night.
Well, wait till everybody hears what we got planned.
Well, we have something planned.
Oh, we got something planned. All right.
Heat up the radio wave.
We're gonna melt some ice.
We are. We're gonna melt the mic.
You're gonna melt. A whole bunch of things are gonna melt. So my last question. Yes, please. What?
Yeah.
What?
No, I said melt the mic.
Oh, the mic's gonna melt right off the cords. All right.
Yeah.
So my last question to you before I say goodbye is: how many Guidettes can we fit in a Dodge Dart?
That was my first car. A 71 Dodge Dart. No heat, no air conditioning, a hole in the floorboard. That's funny. How many can you probably fit? Legally or illegally?
Listen, we got 2 in the trunk. We got 5 in the back seat. We got 4 in the front.
Yeah, we'd be squeezed in.
And I'm sure you were parked in front of Lamore's at one time or another.
Oh, absolutely.
I do.
Yeah.
I love your humor. I love your energy. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to send you the link. The only thing I'm going to ask is you share the show.
Absolutely, Eric. I had a blast. Thank you for having me on.
No, thanks for coming on, hon. And we're going to take you out with some more freestyle. Thanks again, hon.
Cool. All right.
All right, bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Well, so I'm Eric Danger 9 Heist. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to share, listen, like, and follow her. She's funny. I mean, she brings a lot to the table. I like her a lot, but we got something big coming. And Wednesday, we've got Don Scribner. We've got a whole bunch of guests coming on. Stay tuned. I'm Eric Danger 9 Heist, and I am outie.
I went to a party, and what did I see? The girls were wearing leather skirts and see-through jeans. I asked the DJ to tell me what was going on. He said, freestyle's having a freak in the house tonight, move your body from left to right. While you freestyle from the back, a freak in the house tonight, move your body from left to right. While you freestyle from the back, a freak. There's a party in the house and we'll be rocking tonight. So bring your body with you, baby, and I'll make you feel right. It's a freaky celebration of a natural kind, and the pleasure you'll experience will blow your mind. Now swinging in the house tonight, move your body from left to right. To all you freaks, stop the rock, will blow your mind. freaking in the house tonight. Move your body from left to right. The pleasure you'll experience will blow your mind. Tonight, move your body from left to right. To all you freaks, don't stop the box. Let's be stop freaking, and you know why. Please stop freaking in the house tonight. Move your body from left to right.